start of the West Coast Trail, waiting for our briefing to begin. All right, first ladder. Since we started so late in the afternoon, the tides are high and we can't use the beach route, so we have to use the forest route. So we're trying to shoot this whale here. They've lost him. No. Oh yeah, there's a whale. There we go, there's a little whale. We've come to our first campsite. These are markers to show you where you can camp and stuff.
It actually doesn't really look like it's that protected.
Oh. Get my hammock set up. Hey, this is the end of the day. We're winding down. We got our tent set up. Tide's coming in. Got the fire going. Sunset's already occurred. It's about 9:30 now. Neil's enjoying his dinner. This is the beginning of day 2 of our hike. We hiked 8 miles yesterday afternoon. Took it easy, but it was still a nice pace. This is another camp. We elected to stay a little bit further away from everybody else. So here's where we slept, just around the corner. Turned out to be perfect. Lots of privacy, and there was less wind here. So the tide is out. This is the low tide. Learned more about tides in the last 2 days than I have in my previous existence.
Just do whatever feels good.
A little bit of anchor action here. So we're back on the beach. It's pretty much just your own route finding. Okay, we found this weird sucker thing here. So now time to go back into the woods and catch a cable car. So Neil and you, Paul, I'm the cameraman. This cool boardwalk. This is one of the better ones. Not that this is in any great condition. Definitely beats walking down in the mud there. We're about 2 kilometers from our today's camp. This is day 2 for us. It's supposed to be some really beautiful waterfalls. This place fills up. And now we got the ladder. So we just came from that trail. We're walking in the dark woods and just come around the corner and boom, this is what we see. Beautiful, and this clouds are starting to lift too. Tide's coming in. Look down here, you think that's vegetation you can walk on if you have to, and it's like actually cliff.
Well, we gotta do those backpackers and we're walking on the beach. Then we get our spot.
Oh, that's right. Here's our infinity pool. This waterfall right out to the ocean. We've arrived at camp. We haven't set up yet, but looking where we're going to set up.
And yeah, you're not using the other hand because you got a wave, right?
That's right. This is hole in the wall. So things are looking pretty good after yesterday's all-day drizzle. A lot of people got wet. We stayed relatively dry, but trail's muddy. But when you come out and see views like this, it's just sort of all worth it. Yeah, this is fun to negotiate through. You know, a day of rain is nothing compared to this view. Nice cool breeze.
The time, what you guys have?
Any money for crab? Which one do you want?
1:15.
Or whatever they're doing.
I don't imagine I would do it in 3 days.
Yeah, what was it, 10 hours and 20 minutes?
Take the rest of it.
Take a couple.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is awesome.
That's an eagle up there.
Another one, crab.
I won't tell Mom.
You know we have salmon, baked potato and stuff too. Eh?
If you're gonna reel in some salmon now.
Oh.
That's all.
You want some birdseed?
This is considered an excellent boardwalk here. Some of these are really dicey. This is the start of day 4. We have 2 more nights left on the trail and 3 days. Today is going to be supposedly an easy day. We're doing less than 7 miles, and we're heading towards Chamonix, which is the home of the $25 bacon cheese mushroom hamburger. It's about 10:30 in the morning. Just visited the Carmona Lighthouse. Now we are headed to brunch at Chamonix, out in the middle of nowhere. Neil and Dale took the stream crossing, and I took the cable car. It's a pretty lucky kid. Okay, so this is where we came from. The tide's coming in. High tide is about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It can be about 12 feet. And this section of beach down to there is only passable at up until 10 feet. So we're pushing against the tide. As you can see, the tide is coming in. It's pretty hard walking in the sand. So worst case situation, at least we don't have a head wall here. We can just go sit up in the woods, but this is the trail, so if it washes out, you'd be spending the night in the woods. Okay, we cut it a little bit too close on the tide, and this is why you don't wait until high tide to start hiking. So, probably about another foot rise. I don't know how the waves are going to be, but we just have to hike in the ocean for a little bit. Okay, we have seriously cut it close. You're good, Neil. We'll be back for a second or two. Awesome. Safe and sound. There's the ocean. And there's camp. I don't know why we insist on camping with the rest of the conveyor belt, but... Okay, after an eventful stream crossing and playing in the surf, we have arrived at our camp and have set up about 4:30 in the afternoon. Just sort of getting ready for the next day. Gonna go out and get in the swimming hole here. Beautiful. And then there's the ocean right over there. This is the start of day 5 for us and the direction we're heading. This is rated as a difficult day, and pretty much because of what you see here. Lots of roots and worn out bridges. These are the famous bogs here at the top, or the high ground of the West Coast Trail. So, fortunately, these boardwalks are in decent repair. Dale's setting an awesome pace. It's going to be mostly a day of mud walking. It's supposed to be pretty tough, but we started about 8 o'clock. We're already past the group that started about 20 minutes before us. We're trying not to race though. So just so you don't think this is all happy trail hiking, there's a massive mud hole down there, and people will do anything to avoid the mud. This happens to be one of we're thinking it's one of the tallest ladders. And then we come back up this side over there. Ocean's never too far away. And then we got to go up that really nasty stuff. So we're getting into the ladders now. Today's supposed to be a big day of ladder climbing. It's about a 7-mile hike, and we're already halfway through in 2 hours. So we're flying. I attribute a lot of that to just training for the John Muir Trail and traveling with light packs. I just helped somebody with their pack, and they're like at 50 pounds. So we're feeling pretty fresh right now. The trail's good. You got to pay attention on the trail, but we've been joking around and having conversations. So far, so good. We're at this beautiful little secluded shelter cove here, not very wide. Very nice. So we elected not to do the surge channels. Sort of not an official route, but you get to hike along the sea shelves. So we'll be back in the mud here.
Got a bounce to it too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, it's so shaking.
Long way down. Some exciting video of slug watching. There's all kinds of slugs out here.
Actually, say they need to go check something. I'm like, oh wow, you know, and it was.
Your sweat.
This is our last night on the West Coast Trail. Most of these folks are either headed in on their first day or heading out tomorrow. Some of them are doing an intermediate campsite at Thrasher. We're like a big family at this point. This is day 6 for us. Final day. We're about an hour and a half into our hike. Started at 7 o'clock this morning. We just got down humping through the mud. Now we're in the tidal pools. Timed it so that we're at low tide. There's all kinds of mussels and urchins and sea anemones. Moving pretty fast today. We are at Owen Point now. End point, coming up on it in a couple hours. Be over there. We've been walking this stuff for an hour and a half. It's miserable. This is Port Gordon, Port Renfrew. We're waiting for the ferry, and this is the end of the West Coast Trail.